So do you guys know how one of the suspects in the JonBenet Ramsey case is a guy named Fleet White, who was a friend of the family? Anyway, in this new podcast, the dad, John Ramsey, briefly glazes over this fight that he had with this guy. Says he doesn't remember what they fought about. He also mentions that he's in the Navy, but he says in the interview he does not want to talk about it. Now, Fleet White was also in the Navy, from what I understood. And then when I went to go look up what dates to see if they were in the Navy together, because I found it very suspicious, I could not find the dates. But I did find out, I kept seeing these different photos of a man who was really old and a man who was really young. Now, this is his son, but it would be hard for you to figure this out because of the way that it's described on the internet. So as you can see, he's a senior bureau official at the Bureau of Political and Military Affairs. Anyway, what's starting to become clear to me is that there definitely are families that are running this world, allegedly, that are definitely running a stage play on us, because allegedly Fleet White was at the house the morning of her finding, when they found her body, and the whole family was there. Now, this case has been unsolved, which is absolutely absurd when it's very clear what was going on, in my opinion. That the parents were part of some sort of strange ring with a bunch of other families, more than likely selling it on the internet or just sort of engaging with one another. I'm starting to know a lot of wealthy men offer their children up to each other. I don't think that's crazy to say. It legitimately is starting to seem to me like these people are set design. Again, it should have been immediately known this man is that man's son, but it took a while, and I had to ask the AI, which I don't usually mess around with, but I did in this case. Like I said, I couldn't find when his dad was serving in the Navy, and trying to find out how old he is also very strange. And this is what came up with AI, but look at them. They're oh, there's a guy who was in the Navy in 2010 making his son? Is that what you're talking about? I'm pretty sure they're talking about that guy I just showed you. Something else I'll tie in with this is the Giglio Beach, you know what? There's a woman called Rotten Mango. She's on another video app that starts with a Y, ends with an E, figure it out. She talks about that case and the ins and outs of it, and there's so much police involvement at one point where somebody else tries to throw someone else under the bus, and you consistently see police officers involved in these types of cases where they're arrested for possession of, you know what, lascivious content involving children. And it's very clear to me that they are the ones perpetuating this, and that we live in a system of that, and the files show us all of that as well. More to the point, what is a man of this age? This is a white man, so he's probably younger than me, but he looks about my age. I'm in my 40s. He would have this position in the government. And then you think Trump's appointed him, obviously. It's we're just always swirling around the same dark drain. And then I'm thinking, allegedly, if this guy grew up in this creepy family, he's used to this. And, he's never going to say anything about what's going on in the world. So he's a perfect person to put into a position like this because, he's bought and paid for. He's La Familia, right? It's definitely a creepy mafia that's running the country. There's no way around it for me at this point. Oh, and I brought up the Giglio Beach person because also within that episode that she did, I started to also be well, hold on, I think Donald Trump is involved in this too. It seems to all go back to him in the end. It's do we need any more evidence that he's the trafficker, He's the plug. I feel these people just grow up in this and then they just grow up to perpetuate it. And then you see these Hollywood celebrities at the whatever that award show was, but wearing pins that say "Ice Out." That's as far as you're allowed to go. And then no one asks you about the pin that you're wearing, and you don't talk about it either. To recap, a man named Fleet White is at one point implicated in the JonBenet Ramsey situation, we'll call it. Gets into a crazy fight with the dad. The dad pretends he doesn't know anything about it, and then years later, his son is working in the government. What are the statistical odds? Anyone out there know? Oh, let me punctuate this. I believe that Fleet White is the person who took her life. That is my belief. And I believe that his son was rewarded with the position for that reason. I'm also now hearing that she's actually in the Epstein files. And knowing what we know now, I would say there's assuredly a video of what happened to her. I also think the mom was forced to make the ransom note so that she would forever be implicated. Because especially when you watch the videos of her talking about that ransom note, she's super guilty. She's barely hanging on, getting through the moments when she has to discuss it. Oh, there's also a video with the investigator that first showed up on the scene. A single female investigator for a ransom note. No one shows up for an hour to help her. And she says that she and the dad shared a moment about she knew that the person who took JonBenet's life was in the house. And when she tells that story, you can tell that to me, it was very obvious that it was not John, her father, but that he was aware of what happened, but that it was actually Fleet White.